All right, ladies and gentlemen, earlier on my noon show, America Talks Live, seen noon Eastern, Monday through Friday here on Newsmax TV, I had the Malzberg panel. And let's sit back and watch. It's a very attractive panel, not including me. Joining us on said panel, Kristen Tate, libertarian author and political columnist, founder of thelibertarianchick.com, and author of Government Gone Wild. There it is. And in this corner, Margaret Howell, international reporter. All right, welcome to Kristen and to Margaret. And Margaret, you're here for the first time. Let me start with you. How big an issue is this Obamacare premium increase going to be insofar as making a difference in the polls and in the results between now and Election Day?
Look, well, first of all, Obamacare, what an epic disaster. I remember 2008. Nobody knew what was in that bill. Nobody understood it. Nobody could read it. It was hundreds of pages. You've got Jonathan Gruber coming out and saying, look, our greatest advantage is that it's not transparent. We can pass this. And everything that we know about it is an epic lie. If you like your doctor, you get to keep it. Your premiums will not go up. You know, all of these epic lies, and it's lie after lie. Of course premiums would go up. Of course, you know, in my state, Kentucky, it's bankrupted. People aren't paying into the system. They're taking out premiums. It's an epic disaster, and its greatest advantage was that it wasn't transparent, which is how it got passed in the first place. But it's not shocking. And you hear people on the campaign trail, you know, talking to Trump, talking to Clinton, and they're saying, we can't afford our healthcare premiums. We can't, we're making decisions between groceries and healthcare. It's despicable.
Yep. And Kristen, Dick Morris actually liked when I said the way I phrased it, that people are paying $5,000 in premiums and then $6,000 deductible. How can anybody afford $11,000 in health care before you even get a dime back?
It's really crazy, Steve. But the unfortunate thing is I don't think this is going to make a huge difference in November, just because the media has this obsession with deflecting the nation's attention away from actual issues like this and onto just issues of rhetoric, like, you know, the stuff Trump says. But we've got to switch to a more privatized system like Obama wants to. Unfortunately, though, if the polls are right, we're going to get stuck with Hillary. Hillary wants to move towards more of a single-payer system. And what's going to happen then is we're going to see premiums keep going up, quality is going to go down, and there are going to be probably waits of, you know, 3 to 4 years for things like heart transplants. I mean, the system will become overflooded because of supply and demand.
Well, in Canada,
it doesn't work.
It's you know, it's elective surgery of any kind that's necessary. People are waiting and dying.
That's right.
Okay, so let's move on. I want to put up a picture, which I know Kristen could see, Margaret probably can't, but I will describe it. It's Tim Kaine at his big rally yesterday in West Palm. It's not a picture, it's a video without sound. They say 300 people. To me, it looks like, you know, 35 people, but nonetheless, you know, Margaret, a pathetic turnout for the vice presidential nominee 2 weeks before Election Day in a very key state.
Oh, it's so sad, isn't it? I almost feel sorry for him. You know, if he weren't so slimy, you know, he's a very unlikable guy. It was one of the weirdest introductions to the nation stage, that debate. People are like, who is this guy? And, you know, the memes coming out are really funny. But look, Hillary, she draws a similar crowd. I've got to tell you, when you're on the ground and covering a Trump rally, which we've done, people, it's standing room only. There are thousands of people standing. And when you see a Hillary rally, yes, sometimes she can fill a small high school stadium, but it's the same thing. But it's so sad. Poor Tim Kaine. You know, it's just wow.
Well, and now, Kristen, will this translate into who shows up and who doesn't? Because if the polls are the polls, let's put a couple up here. Let's put up the next one here. This is the IBD poll, dead heat, 42-41 Clinton, although Trump was up 1 or 2 points. And the next one, I think, is the LA Times, 1 point for Clinton. Again, Trump had been up 1 or so. We have CNN at 5% for Hillary. NBC News Today, 5% for Hillary, a lot different than the 12% from over the weekend in the ABC poll. So can you know, when you see the crowds, 20,000 in Tampa for Trump yesterday, 300 in West Palm for Kaine, can that and will that translate at the polls on Election Day?
It very well might. A big factor in November is going to be voter turnout. Hillary is no Obama. Kaine is no Biden. You know, Obama and Biden, say what you will about them, they got people really excited to go out there and vote in 08 and even in 2012. You know, all of these groups that Democrats rely on, like millennials, minorities, women, all of these people really couldn't wait to go out there and vote for Obama. Hillary does not have that same kind of passion behind her campaign. And, you know, something as small as bad weather on voting day could have a really big impact on voting, and that could really hurt Hillary. I know Trump supporters overall are much more enthusiastic to go out there and vote. The people I know who support Trump, they can't wait. They want to take a picture of their ballot and put it. I mean, they're so excited.
I've been hearing that you better check with the people at the polling station if you plan on taking a picture of the ballot. Now, Hillary deleted 35,000 emails and put our national security at risk. Nothing happens to her, but chances are, if you take a picture of your ballot, it could be illegal and you could get in trouble. So check with your polling place before you do anything like that. Margaret, Joe Biden on Friday in Pennsylvania talked about how I don't wish I could debate Trump. I wish I could take him out behind the gym. You know, and the insinuation there was have a fist fight and beat him up. He got away with that one. So yesterday he went and said at a stop, I'm going to get in trouble here, but if I was still in high school, he stressed that, he would like to, again, take Trump out. And he did this. He pounded his fist into his hand. That is really sick stuff.
Correct. He's making a physical threat against a presidential candidate. Look, Biden is known for his gaffes. He's been making them for decades. And, you know, creepy old Joe Biden, what can you say? It's just the way that he is. We've excused it. You know, he's able to say what he wants and get away with it. But that's pretty inexcusable, threatening someone physically. You know, Obama does it, but it's more subtle. You know, he reads Trump's insults. You know, he goes through his Twitter file, if you will. But Biden is you know, much less polished, and he's been known for this. This is what he does.
Yep, Kristen, he gets away with it. I was watching on Friday when they played the Pennsylvania remark, and Michael Schmaconish on CNN came back with Brooke Baldwin and said, you know, Brooke, that's why people love that guy, because that's how real people talk. And I almost fell off my chair. So Donald Trump, when he talks like a real person, I'm not talking about the sex tape, but when he talks like a real person and they kill him for it on the air.
Well, when Biden does it, it's
great.
It's great. He's real. You know, it's so funny. I'm kind of a Politico. I'm reading the news all day. I didn't even know about this because the media just doesn't care. Can you imagine if Trump said this about a Democrat? They would blow it up to the size of that 2005 tape and make it into the big scandal of the election. It's ridiculous. This is just another story about the media bias, really.
I want you both to watch what happened before a preseason game the other day in Miami, NBA preseason game between the Philadelphia 76ers and the Miami Heat. A woman named Denisa Lawrence, who is black, opened her jacket just before she started to sing, revealing a Black Lives Matter shirt. And then this happened. Watch. All right. So, Margaret, now they have national anthem singers who are kneeling. I got to tell you, it's had an effect on NFL ratings. I don't know if it'll have an effect on NBA ratings, but this is outrageous that the Miami Heat would allow this.
Oh, I agree. And the shirt, now, keep in mind, I can't see it, but you said she was wearing a Black Lives Matter shirt. The very narrative of that group, you know, their leader, if you will, the inspiration of the group was on the FBI's most wanted list. We know that George Soros has dumped lots of money into this group to promote the terrorism that they commit in communities, and it's, you know, it's just, what can you say?
Yeah, well, it's insane, Kristen.
Yeah, no, we live in a country now and where disrespecting your country is seen as, you know, being heroic. This woman's probably a big hero to these liberals. I don't know why we just, as a nation, keep saying that, you know, hating America is a good thing. It's sickening to me. But, you know, this woman's probably a big hero to the left.
My thanks to Kristen and Maggie. Coming up in the next segment, John Zogby and Ron Kessler. And Ron is going to reveal the dark side of Hillary Clinton, her filthy mouth, to be specific. Don't go away.